3, 2, 1. 안녕하세요. 나 이름은 이찬우 있습니다. 나 이름은 이현우요. 우리 한국 II CPR Project는 한국어 했어요. 우리 너무 중요하게 싸울 때 너무 많이 공부할 거 우리는 비디오 프레젠테이션 만들었어. 그리고 제일 중요한 하야. Okay. We hope you enjoy. Yes, hope you enjoy.
The tides at Incheon delayed the operation of 9 hours, which gave the North Koreans plenty of time to launch a counterattack. The Navy suggests to MacArthur that they wanted to launch the invasion somewhere else, that there were better places with less risks, but MacArthur's confidence makes the conquest initially begin at Incheon. His three main objectives was to capture Incheon, liberate Seoul, and push the communists out. The invasion begins on September 15, 1950 at 6:33 a.m. Aerial bombardments are executed for 5 days on the island to weaken defense, and offshore warships complete the rest of the job. The first wave of land forces arrive on Womingdo Island to eliminate the North Koreans' defense lines. Their main transportation, which was the LST, which means landing ship tank, was the key factor to the success in the operation, which had the capability of delivering 20 medium tanks and a maximum of 130 to 150 soldiers. MacArthur watches the first wave's progression from the bridge on the USS Mount McKinley. When the tide goes low, however, the operation is halted for 9 hours before being able to resume again, delivering the main force. When the operation resumes at 4:30 p.m., it delivers the main force, which consisted of 13,000 Marines and more than 250 naval vessels. By the nightfall of that same day, Incheon is finally taken back and US is repossessed of it. Combined forces of the 5th, 7th, and Fox Company Marines moved along the Toktung Pass on December 3, 1950. The hills on this pass, however, were so hostile that the men had to stop every few yards to make sure it was clear to move on. As they were moving on the road, the Marines were now easy targets, but they were now close enough to receive air support from Hungnam. The U.S. launched Corsair fighter bombers to deliver valuable supplies such as ammunition, food, and living essentials. The fighter planes also used a new ground-based weapon for the first time, napalm. Napalm had the capability of taking out tanks with flames reaching 1500 degrees and a radius of 250 feet and 150-gallon drums, which was combined with aluminum-based thickening agent mixed with gasoline. The 7,000 Marines finally make it to Hagaruru. Casualty figures grew as the battle prolonged itself. Previously unknown hills became infamous during this time period, as North and South both tried to gain access and strategic advancements over these hills, such as Pork Chop and the most infamous hills. The battle continued as there was negotiations being made for a peace agreement. talk for peace finally moved to Panmunjom, where the issue was the captivations of the prisoners of war. The Chinese argued that they should all be returned to their nation. Within camps, communists and non-communists formed parties and would intimidate each other. Communists eventually took control of the camps, and tanks and flamethrowers were eventually forced back re-entry to take back the camp. The force used to suppress this rebellion was greatly used for propaganda to make the US seem as if what they were doing was wrong. In the next 2 years, there was attempts in cutting off the Chinese supply routes from the front line through aerial attacks. Three-quarters of the entire US Air Force and 3 carrier planes all took part in Operation Strangle, solely dedicated to cutting off all supplies to the Chinese front line. As these planes were destroying all the property and transportation routes, the North Koreans were able to rebuild them just as fast as they were destroyed, so it was very futile. After a consistent amount of attacks, manufacturing moved underground where it was protected and under indication. Exchange of sick and wounded prisoners finally marked the first movements in the ceasefire movement. Overseeing the peace process, there was a neutrality state declared. In 1963, on July 22nd, General William Harrison led delegations into Panmunjom to sign the arms disagreement, enabling the final end of this very bloody battle between Nam Il and General William Harrison. The battle ended where it started, the 30th parallel.
즉 한국 전쟁을 외희이다. 우리는 항상 이 한국 역사의 무서운 부분에 대해 많이 알게 되기를 바랍니다. 언제까지나 북쪽과 남쪽 사이의 관계를 좁게 있다. 우리는 당신은 프렌젠테이션 중 전쟁이 소래에 대해 형제 내 공에 진정한 공포를 가지고 있기로 바랍니다. 바라건대 미래 한국의 역사의 부분에 대한 인식을 각척함으로써 한국의 이면 사이의 단경을 부과할 수 있습니다. 이 프로젝트는 한국인이 서로 맞서 살아야 했다. 전통가 있다는 것을 우리에게 도입하여 한국 조직과 한국 문화에 대한 우리의 공정을 변경. 우리는 항상 평화로운 지정국기로 한국의 생각, 실제로 고난과 자신의 아름다운 고난과 자신의 아름다운 풍경을 내 깊은 하나의 시대에 가만히 있을 때 우리는 당신의 한국을 주게 고난을 주셔서 감사합니다. 하지만 동생이 고공은 강한했다. I'll speed it up.